Hi, this is Dina with Dina's Creative Studio. I was inspired to do another flip through video showing some Bible journaling I did. This is the first Bible I ever journaled in, and because it is so chunky and the spine's starting to fold out there, you can see where it's turned out from the chunkiness. I've not done any more journaling in this for a couple years, I think, or 3 years. But I wanted to share it with you. This is a journal word. Excuse my allergies. A journal word Bible. It's NIV. They do have them for New King James as well, I believe. But it is a comfort print, which means it's a slightly larger font, and I can go over that momentarily. It is a leather soft, so it's a imitation leather, but that's why I was able to get it to expand like I did. And I technically could, I've seen people have them, wider, but so I started this in June of 2019. That's when I started Bible journaling. One reason why I got it is because it has the words of Jesus in red, and to me that's kind of nice when it's easy to find out, when he's talking and when someone else is. I just noticed it's ripped right there. I will repair that with some washi tape, but I don't flip through it very often, and so I just wanted to go through it. And I was inspired to. Somebody said she appreciated me sharing the Bible with you guys, and just kind of an intermediate video. So I'm not the best artist in the world, but you don't have to be, and you can still get something out of journaling in your Bible. So this one I did primarily art journaling. This was June 4th of 19. It wasn't my first page. It was one of my second or third pages or something. But I just read through. I wrote down all the different days. This is Genesis in the beginning, and God created the heavens and the earth. And it was very simple. I just used colored pencils. That's my livestock. I hope you can see that. It's a little, let me move this up a little bit. Little animals there. I can't draw. I don't know what that looks like. There's my ocean, and there's little fish in the ocean. Yeah, so day and night. So yeah. And then this was June 22nd, Satan Lies. This was a stencil, and then I wrote there. This was a printable I got. I just colored it in and put it on the page and highlighted it. It doesn't matter. This one doesn't even have a date on it, and I pretty much always date stuff, so obviously I missed it. This is from 2020. This is from a devotional with Illustrated Faith that I did. And so I used some of their little frames that were in there. I don't have a lot in the Old Testament, not because I don't think the Old Testament's important. That's not it at all. I think it's very important. However, what I did random pages here, and then I did a lot of pages in the New Testament. I actually went page by page in the New Testament and journaled on just about every page. So that's why it's so thick at the end. This was another devotional I did, but this was from By the Will for God. This is May of 2020. Anybody else having problems with allergies? Because, hello. Seems to be a perpetual issue with me. Now this was the plagues. I got this and I never finished it. Maybe I'll go back and finish it one day. But I've got these devotionals, and it says first plague, the second plague. I colored them in and put them next to, but I never finished it. I got the printable, but I always intended to go back and finish it. It just didn't happen. Anyway, this one was June 11th of 2019, so I'm still new to everything. I did tape a little tassel in with washi tape. I wrote out a verse over here, which is basically this verse here. And I do not do any type of special or fancy handwriting. I actually have some printables that I can print out and practice on and just keep printing and keep practicing, but I might end up laminating them so I can practice with a dry erase marker. But I just haven't done it yet. We all get busy, don't we get busy? Anyway, this is just color pencil, nothing exciting. And I don't know why there's washi tape on that side there. Let's see. So yeah, I have other Bibles that have more done in the Old Testament. And like I said, I was going to go through and read the Old Testament in here and journal, but it just kept getting bigger and bigger, the Bible did, so I ended up not doing it. But you can do whatever you like. This is just has single column lines on the side. It's not my primary study Bible, so I was perfectly fine with covering up words. In some Bibles, I don't cover up the text. It just depends on the Bible. Or if I do, I use like a clear sticker color that you can see through. But there's definitely more in here that I could do. Maybe I will. Maybe I'll get inspired. This was from a printable that was given to me. And I think I put, is that glue stick? I don't know. Oh, I printed it on vellum. It's on vellum. Okay. So, yeah. So, if anyone has any questions, always let me know. Don't forget to let me know. This is the Prayer of Jabez. I don't know if any of you have heard about this. And it's 1 Chronicles 4:10. And it's something that's good to pray. There's nothing in there, but I have it marked in the Bible because I highlighted it. But I'll let you look that up. Or ripped tabs. I like adding tabs to my Bibles, colorful tabs. You can get some that are already divided, but I like adding tabs, and there's a few different places to get tabs that I really like. But there's a ton of places where you can get Bible tabs. These I liked because they're sticky on both sides. You just fold them over. But there's some others that I liked better. But they've actually done pretty well. It's just the Bible pages are having issues. This is July 2nd of 2019. I had some embellishments to put in, ephemera. Embellishments, basically the same thing. But, and it's just on cardstock. And I think I was using glue stick at this point to glue stuff, Elmer's glue stick to put stuff down. It's perfectly fine to use. However, I don't do that anymore. I'll go over that later. This was from, can't see it, November 23rd of 19. Anyway, I can't see what it is, but this is actually gelato, I believe, that I put on my Bible, and there's glitter coming off on my hand. I sprayed something with it, sparkly spray. It was a while ago. This one, April 13th of 2020, Psalm 23. And I made this darker to kind of represent shadow of death, but this is Psalm 23 up here. Whether I like the page now, it's okay. I think I use watercolor and stamps. This is a sticker, a clear sticker over it, random washi bits. So yeah, I write prayers on a lot of my journaling pages. That's something I can go back and look at later. Like this one here, this is 2021. Like October of 21. So it looks like I got bad news in October of 21. I don't remember what it was, but I was grateful that God was there and my family was there for me. So this is paint. It is acrylic paint, and I just did a layer where you could still see it. What I did is I took washi and put over this, and then I was able to tear it off later. But there's a trick with washi. So if I were to just take this tape down and put it over here and pull it off, it would rip some of the words up. So what you do with your washi tape, I'm going to share this trick with you because I think it's important. And it's nice to be able to highlight the verse and to gelato or paint around it and leave that highlighted. You take your arm or your clothes. I like to use clothes. You put it on and pull it off a couple times, 3 times. And then when you lay it down, you can go and pull it up, and it's not going to pull up the words unless you get paint underneath it and the paint dries or something. But it sticks well enough to do that. So that is how I do that. I just said that a lot. I apologize. And sometimes I would write something. This was October 5th, 19. And this right here, page ripped. So it's just washi covering up the page to keep it from ripping any further. This was a later one, May of 21. This ink here, I don't use that ink anymore because it bleeds through. That's probably dye ink on my stamp. And I'll show you all my date stamps and everything eventually through the series. But I was just thanking God for helping me through what I was going through, and that I can't do it without him. But here, I think I tried to highlight the verse here, and it ripped up because I didn't prep the washi tape enough, so I just wrote it on there. And this is a stencil, and it is Ranger's, what's it called? It's a product I'll go through. It's like an ink. It's a distressed ink. I could get it wet and it would spread and stuff. This page looks like I was going to do something with this page and I didn't. To have, a handwritten, just a journal notebook. Maybe it's hardback, maybe it's fancy, maybe it's something. I actually found this at a thrift store, and this thing is awesome. Well, I'm going to use it for, there's paper inside, and then this was written on, love you to the moon and back, and the person didn't keep it. You could art journal in this easily, and I think that's what I'm going to do. Anyway, but you might have something that you like to write in. Well, this is similar to me. I journal in my journaling Bible because I get my support from God, from my relationship with Jesus. And so that's what I use this. Now this, I painted all around this here. Obviously COVID-19, this was March of 2020. So my dad got really sick with COVID, and everyone was getting sick, and I was just like, that's not how life will end for me. But I did get really sick with it, but obviously I survived. I got sick in around Christmas time. Actually, my dad got sick at the same time. So there's just a verse. This is, oh, and the thing, I'll show you something. So this was acrylic paint. It doesn't go through. See this right here? You can't see it. You can see that's a little bit darker, but it doesn't, it doesn't go through. So this is white gesso, I think, clear stickers. I have a good printer that I print stuff on, and there's a dog hair there, of course. The righteous will flourish. Flowers that I got from somewhere, and some washi tape and some stickers. You can find stickers sometimes you can find stuff at Goodwill or thrift stores. Sometimes you can find it at the Dollar Tree. Has a crafting section. What you want to find, anything that you use, you want it to be acid free and lignin free, especially if you're going to put any pictures with it. But you can find some stickers and some that are not too expensive at some places. So this was October of 21. This was a printable set that I did for someone I was doing. I used to do Bible journaling for different companies. They would send me the printables. I'd use them and share them with everybody. So I used to do that. And this is gelatos. When you use gelatos, if you're going to write on it afterwards, there's a special spray you have to use, but I'll share that with you. And this I did with washi tape again, and some of it came off because I didn't prep it well enough, but you get the general idea. Another like bookmark thing. It was just done. I covered the words, but I didn't cover the words I was, journaling. I have a little tab there. Like I said, this isn't my main study, but I like this one because it's very simple. I use washi tape on the white parts, and I just did ink here. This is gelatos again, I believe, and I'll show you how I do that. But I like this page. This was one of my earlier pages, October. Okay, so yeah, and I remember what happened with the one of earlier pages, where it was October 1st of 21, and I got bad news. It was actually when I was laid off from work. This one's praying for a new job, and I actually found a position, and I started in November of 21 in that position, and I actually met my husband there. So I've been married just over 2 years. Best thing that's ever happened to me. He is a wonderful man, and if he's listening to this, his head might get a little big, but he loves Jesus and loves me and loves my dogs. So that was on the list, loving Jesus and loving my dogs. But yeah, so we're very happily married and looking forward to many years together. But yeah, we met at work, and we both work for the same company still, or I had left and went back, but yeah. So I've got this page here. This was part of that rooted kit that I did previously. I think there was another page I did that earlier in the Bible. And then I'm getting to one of my favorite areas, or this is one of my favorite pages of all time. I thought this was like a darker, like bright green, but it looks more yellow. I don't know if it faded or what happened, but so it kind of stands out. But this is a napkin here with just stickers and some ribbon, so that one was fun. All right, I had to take a break for a little coughing spell. So this is one of my favorite passages in the Bible, Isaiah 55. It really helped me process through something I was really upset about. So I hope you'll go look up Isaiah 55. It really is a beautiful passage. This is just paint. It just has satin. It's a satin paint, but it was pretty easy just to paint around and then highlight. This is like, excuse me, this is the first page I did. June 1st of 2019. That's when I first started Bible journaling. We've got a napkin. I've got gelatos here. It's my favorite verse, Jeremiah 29:13, or 29:11, sorry. 29:13 is a good verse as well, actually. Like the Bible's all good. And since I'm trying not to cough, I'm not going to talk too much. I'll go ahead and show you. Pages. And as the more I look at this Bible, the more I see that there are plenty of blank pages that I need to journal on. But it would make it so much thicker. We'll see. Here we go. Here's a Christmas page. So I had Christmas printable. I printed on clear sticker paper and just stuck it in there. I think it's cute, even though I didn't have to draw anything, but that's kind of better. And I've got, this one's got fabric on here. I just bunched it up and stapled it. And then this is stapled as a tag or a bookmark. And then the staples that are on the other side, I can always put a piece of cardstock over it or some washi tape. This did go through a little bit. I think I used just regular acrylic, but it's, I could always paint around it, white gesso or acrylic or something. It's more of a shadow effect than a bleed through anyway. This is a tip-in. I glued it in here because I wanted to journal, but I wanted more space. He has risen, Easter page. This is watercolor. I actually started in John in this Bible and just went page by page. I don't know why I didn't start in Matthew. I'm not sure. I think I may have been reading Matthew and Mark and Luke in another Bible and listened to John and then started in this one, but I'm not Sure if that's correct, if I'm remembering wrong. This is more, I painted over the, no, this is the end, but I did paint over the text here. Mark Christmas. It's a printable. I don't know if you can hear that or not. But the coyotes are yipping. I actually paused doing this video earlier and had to come back to it because I had paused it and I thought I started it again, but it never recorded. And so I couldn't sleep. What time is it? It is almost 3 a.m. So yeah, it's about time for the coyotes to yip. This is one of the earlier pages. This is a napkin. This is June 3rd of 2020. Or 2019, sorry. And so this is when I started going through John. Washi tape, printable. Jesus turns water into wine. So I have a water droplet, an arrow, and then a wine goblet. I try to draw the earth. For God so loved the world, so I try to draw one. This is thirsting for Jesus, rain clouds. I made it fun with I think this is this is actually a napkin. Try to make it look like a cloud. Yeah, like my cactus, isn't it cute? So these are very early on. And the light of the world. This is the washi tape I have. It was just little lights. Stencil. Jesus is the gate that we enter through to get to heaven, so I kind of drew a picket fence as a gate. This is stencil here too. I did with the watercolor. It bled through a little bit. I think it actually is watercolor pencils, which are fun. And then you color with them, and then you take a little bit of water on a brush. And another napkin. What I have on the other side definitely bled through. Actually, that is interesting because this is pencil. It looks like the carbon and the paper we didn't imprint. Vine and branches. I did this washi tape to cover up. This is a gel pen. It was bleeding through, so I used washi tape to cover it up. And I just stuck that on top. I had a goal when I was doing this to like journal on every page or just about. And I did, but it sure made my Bible chunky. God or Jesus in the appearing by the sea and tell them they're fishing, tell them where to throw their net. This pink on the other part, watercolor that bled through. So I don't use those watercolors anymore. I actually think I got rid of them, but I used washi tape and I taped it and then I painted in between. Jesus coming on the cloud, so I made a cloud. Pentecost, the Holy Spirit came. You're still watching. Thank you for watching. This is a quote that goes with the topic of suffering for Christ. I want to know what you want to know about when it comes to journaling in your Bible. So let me know what questions you have for me, about my experience, about journaling, what stuff I'm going to share with you, what I use, what different Bibles there are out there. Some of them I have, some of them I don't have because I haven't spent more money on another Bible when I have some that I need to use. All right. This is just that plastic. They don't sell it anymore. It's a pack that Illustrated Faith did through Dayspring. And I just took it, cut it to go over my page. I taped it in with washi tape. Did it a few times. Here's another time. It definitely thickens up your Bible though. This is like parchment paper here. So you can always take parchment paper over something. Washi tape. It's paint, acrylic paint. This was a paper I had. I just taped it in there. There's something else to... This is a napkin. I would use glue stick for that, but I have a different glue that I would use now and try that instead of glue stick. There's another one of those. It stays in there pretty well with washi tape. I put it on both sides, the washi tape. Rejoice with those who rejoice, mourn with those who mourn. Empathy is important. I kind of journaled a few things here, but this is just curling ribbon. I think I stapled it in there. Yeah. And it was curly at one point. Of course, it got smushed being in a book, but this was tissue paper that I glued in there and then I used watercolors on. Probably wouldn't use this dark color again like this, but there you go. I did, so. I was trying a different technique out. You take a credit card, you put multiple colors of paint on it and you drag it along. And did this, but it didn't look how I've seen people do it. So I didn't like how it turned out very well. Another napkin. This is freedom right there. This is like one of the second or third pages I did. And I messed up, so I put a cardstock and wrote on it and put over it. You can really tell the difference between my earlier journaling pages and my latter journaling pages, but I guess the more you do something, the better you tend to get better at it anyway. Not always. Like golf. You don't want me playing golf. I can imagine getting better at it. This is a transparent sticker paper that I didn't care for. It was super duper shiny. And my printer printed on it just fine, but I wasn't a fan. This is the transparent sticker paper I liked better. And I splattered paint over it. I started to get not as inspired as far as being artsy. So I started just to write prayers or notes on the side, which is perfectly fine. And here, this was more, this was February of 22. This was July 2020. I couldn't think of anything to be creative with, so I read a prayer, but the point is not having perfect Bible pages. The point is being in God's Word and spending time with Him. And this is, I got a new typewriter, and this is vellum. I typed my prayer instead of writing it. And then I taped it in. Or did I tape it or did I glue it? This one I actually glued. This was done in fall, so. And this is a different kind of bobble tab. Those are those Avery tabs you can use for things. I think I only used a couple of these. I still have them. I'm not sure how much I like them, but you can label them different on on each side depending on what you're journaling about. So that's kind of nice. But then there's the pink ladybug, which I love. This page here I glued in, so it's an extra page. I didn't color over any words then or paint over any words. That was an early page. It's just a stencil. I wonder if I still have those stencils. I've moved since then, twice, so I'm curious. And that is it. I don't have anything in. Oh, this is something I wanted to show you. So I've got these highlighters here, and I've got a pen here. A lot of Bibles, not all of them will have note pages. This one happens to have a lot of pages for notes in the back, which is kind of cool. But you might have tables of weights and measures, or you might have like a glossary or something. Anyway, you pick, or what is this? Note regarding the type. So I'm just taking, this is a mild liner by Zebra. And this is a micron. And I'm testing it. You can write what it is. Like I have this pen here, which I believe is this one. Triplus fine liner by Stettler. Anyway, so you write, and you can see on the back what bleeds through and what shadows. So this highlighter here, it didn't bleed through, but you can still see it a little bit. It's called a shadow. And this paper is really thin. Some Bibles have, journaling Bibles have thicker paper than this. It just depends, but this one did bleed through. Now, this highlighter, but see, I've not ruined any pages per se, but if I'm highlighting something and I go over it too much, it's definitely going to bleed through in that highlighter. And I'll go over highlighters and stuff later, but see, it bled through there. But it's a good way to test your pens out. If you leave it too long, it's going to bleed through. Otherwise, it just shadows that highlighter. But I will go over all the different highlighters and pens that I recommend or that I use. There might be others out there, but pretty much rule of thumb in Bible journaling and using pens in your Bible, pigment ink is the best. And I'm going to use, it's the same page here. This is just a ballpoint pen. It's big crystal. I don't know if they still make it or not, but I love how big, how wide it is, you know. So I like those pens a lot. It works. It just shadows. You can use it, but I can feel it, and that I find annoying. Whereas this over here, I can't feel. This has an imprint. So because I don't want to feel my writing from one page to another, I don't use ballpoints. So, but I will in future videos, we'll go over all the different pens that I use, highlighters, paper, cutters, artistic pieces like the different paints, the watercolors, colored pencils, what kind of colored pencils I like to use. Gelato, whether I use any sprays or puff paints or whatever. They're not called puff paints anymore, but that's basically what they are. So what I like to use, and I'll go over all of that. And the next episode in the series, I'm going to go over the different Bibles, some of which I have, some that I don't, and post on kind of the pros and cons of each Bible. But when it comes to the Bible you want to use, you want to look at the version that you like to read, or the translation, sorry. And also, do you want to just take notes in the side, or do you want to be artistic? So it just depends on what you want to do, in what you're doing Bible journaling for. But here, this is ripped. So I've got a piece of pink washi tape. And there's nothing on this side, so we're going to fix it really quick. And all we're going to do is we're going to just put some washi tape on it so it doesn't continue to rip. And I'll just leave this like that, and the same with this one. So, yeah, that is my video for the day. I hope you guys have a wonderful weekend, and take care, and don't forget to be in the Word.